The Southern Appalachian Paddlesports Museum is actually the idea of a non-paddler, a fellow named Mike Fischesser, who doesn't want any kind of credit, but we're going to give him a round of applause because he's the one who caused this. Mike! That was for you, Mike. He wasn't listening, he was talking. So a few years ago, Mike came up with this idea. We had he gathered a bunch of old pals like me and Mark and Kerry Keller, and we decided to put this thing together, and we have been incredibly gifted with the generosity of Trent and Debbie Thomas, who are the owners and managers of this fine establishment, who have donated, with no recompense whatsoever, the space for the Paddlesports Museum next to the Climbing Museum, which I suspect they don't get any money for that either. These folks are incredible community contributors to this endeavor, to the outdoor world, and I hope you will buy lots of stuff and buy lots of beer, or tonight you get to make donations to the Paddlesports Museum if you buy a beer. When that keg runs out, if you buy beer from them, you're supporting them, so please do. So we probably got an hour and a quarter program this evening, the main event of which, two main events. One is to induct the class of 2022 of the Southern Appalachian Paddlesports Museum Hall of Fame. Yeah. And then we have a pair of keynote speakers to tell us a little bit about, or as much as they want to tell us about, what American Whitewater has done and is doing on behalf of saving rivers in this area and around the world. And so we have a bunch of current members of the Hall of Fame who are here. Another one who just showed up. Shane, all right, welcome. All right, so what we're going to do, let me look at my notes here to make sure. Oh, yeah. We have Jenny's Food and Soup Truck outside. We want to patronize those guys. They showed up on the theory that a bunch of us would eat some food and eat some soup, so please do that. If you see Trent and Debbie, please make sure to give them a thank you and a pat on the back. We've had a committee that has come together with Mike's magnetism to put this thing together for these few years, and a number of those folks are here who have been committee members for a long time. Mark Hunt, myself, Payson Kennedy. Who else we got? Yeah, Will Leverett, who's made the effort to get here every single time. Peter Hampson, Ethan and Kelly Talley, who are here and remain. Jeff Greiner, Bunny Johns was part of that. Gordon Grant has weighed in a few times. Anybody I'm missing who has been part of this committee? Pete Hampson. I mentioned Pete Hampson. Yes, sir? All right. Yeah, so thanks to all those guys. So there's kind of two groups going on, working together to make this thing happen. One is the steering committee, which meets infrequently and plans this event, and the other is the Hall of Fame committee. So Mike has, with his magnetism, recruited a bunch of new folks to help us out on the committee, the steering committee, and I'm going to ask him to introduce those people and tell us who we got.
All right, let's see. I've got a videographer here. It's got my phone, so I got to get out here a little further. So yeah, we got some new folks working with us now. I won't have you stand up because everybody standing up, they'll get you mixed up. So we got Noah Green over here. Raise your hand. Will Wilson and Jenny Kavsky are not here. Who am I missing? Jane Falk, Clyde Carter from Brevard College fame, outdoors. Who am I missing, Clyde?
You're missing me.
Right here.
Big's your photographer.
Oh, Roger.
It's me. I'm Beans. Good to see you guys.
Beans Richardson. I get it. So yeah, thanks for y'all for joining the committee.
I'm going to do a little plug for TASK. Aren't these guys in your TASK network?
There's three folks from the American Adventure Service Corps. Many years ago they graduated. Now they're still active paddlers, and we go on Arctic canoe trips and things together. And then we got the Brevard College contingency of 3 with the Wilderness Leadership Program that Clyde Carter started 35 years ago.
35 years.
That's 1800s, y'all.
You guys remember listening to Car Talk on NPR where they have the Shameless Commerce Division? This is the Shameless Commerce Division for TASK. This is an amazing program. The American Adventure Service Corps been around, Mike, don't go anywhere, stand right here. Be embarrassed the whole time. The American Adventure Service Corps has been around in, what would we say, Black Mountain, Mike?
Morgan since 26 years ago.
26 years ago, Mike has led generations of kids into the wilderness, including every year at least a 30 or 40-day trip into the Yukon or the Canadian Northwest, and he has created several generations of outdoor enthusiasts who are climbers, who are paddlers, who are adventurers, all out of his own good spirit. So I want to say thanks to Mike for that.
I got one thing to say. Every year I asked him, don't mention my name. I'm just going to be behind over
I
here.
said that ship has sailed. You
I
know.
know. So I'm going to get him back this year. He's the treasurer on the steering committee, but little does he know that if you want to get in the Hall of Fame, just give me some money.
Matter of fact, I'm about to fall off this wallet because Trent and Debbie gave me all the cash from selling the Neely maps, so maybe I'm stealing a little bit of Mike's thunder. Trent and Debbie have agreed to sell our t-shirts. I know Mike was going to talk about this. We have t-shirts for sale. 100% of the proceeds go to the museum, and we're also selling Neely maps, which is out of the generosity of Bob Sellinger and the Nasha Ridge Press, who own the rights to all the Neely maps. And we contacted Sellinger and said, hey, we'd like to sell your maps. What's it going to cost us? And he said, nothing. How many do you need? So there are at least a bunch of versions of every of the famous Neely maps in the back there. All the proceeds go to the museum. And Trent, I think we're listing them at $8. So, Trent came in and told me the other day that a guy came in and bought one of each one and paid $20 for each one. Wow! Because all the money goes to the museum. So, that, if you're feeling generous, that would be a good thing to do to round up when you buy a Neely map. Okay. All right, Mark, do you want to talk about the Hall of Fame? You want me to introduce the program? I'll do it. I'm on rolling. All right, so last year, a couple of years ago, Mike and a couple of us came up with this idea of a Hall of Fame, and we had a process that inducted 60-ish individuals and 4 institutions into the Southern Appalachian Paddlesports Hall of Fame. And in order to qualify for that, you had to be designated or win points as an innovator, a pioneer, a leader, or someone who has made a noble contribution to whitewater sport. And 60 people made it through that filter the first time, and we are planning to do it every 2 years. So there is a Hall of Fame committee, and I believe most of us are here. Mark and I, Shane Benedict, raise your hand, Shane. Anna Levesque is not here. Anna Levesque, you may know, one of the leading female paddlers in the world, was on our committee. She's in wherever, Minnesota or someplace. She's a big cheese in the ACA instruction program, so she's not here today. Roger Knott is here and was on the committee. Roger is a volunteer. He's been volunteering all his life into the world of the whitewater, and you'll hear more about that in a little bit. And then Joe Pulliam. Is Joe here? Nope. Joe's not here. So the 6 of us were the self-appointed committee to do the 2022 class of inductees, and we're going to have the video that Mark Hunt, who's our video wizard, has put together, and it's about a 13-minute video, and the first 9 people on the slides and described in the video are this year's class of 2022 inductees. The next, and we decided it's another 10 minutes, we're going to show the whole video for all the folks who were inducted in 2021. And then we're going to do a look, since many of them are here, we're going to invite some of those folks, all of them up here. We're going to invite the new class up here, photo opportunities galore. And then we have a keynote presentation by 2 of our inductees from last year, Mark Singleton and Kevin Colburn, who are the big dogs in American whitewater. Actually, a retiring big dog in American whitewater. And they're going to give us a description of what's going on in American whitewater after that. All right, are we ready, Mark? All right, we're ready for the video.
So we can roll the video. Apologies in advance if we get a tech flub. But if you're like way in the corner over there or something, if you're not hearing it well or seeing it well, just squeeze in a little bit for a while the video plays. Let's give it a try here.
Before you go, there are chairs over here if you folks want to come on over.
There's a couple of places here too.
Yeah,
Get them away from the cast.
get some. There's some chairs right here at the bar.
And there are a couple.
Yeah. Mark, you want Debbie to turn the lights on?
Yeah, turn them down. Let's see. Thank you, Jeff.